Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. To get the technicalities out of the way, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in a future episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a YouTube message. So the first question for today is, hey Matimio, in Battlefield 4, would you like to see some kind of multi-platform where you can play with, for example, PlayStation users on PC? If so, will this give PC users an unfair advantage because they have a mouse and keyboard? So I'm gonna go with a no on the first part of this question, even though I think it's kind of a cool idea. It would be pretty awesome to team up with some of your buddies that do have the PC4 version of Battlefield 4 while you only have the PC version. Team up, squad up, and play some of the multiplayer together. But where you start to run into some problems is if they did have this cross-platform type of thing, the PC players would just absolutely dominate everyone. The average PC player isn't better than the console players, or the average console player, but because they are using a mouse and keyboard, their accuracy is going to far exceed anyone that is using the controller, and they're just going to mop the floor with everyone. I don't care how good you are at the consoles or at using a controller. If you do get accustomed with the mouse and keyboard, I know, I understand, it does take a while, but once you get used to it, your accuracy is a lot better than if you are using a controller. And so if they did mix things up a bit, I think that the console players would get a little upset. They would probably die a lot more, and their experience would be lessened if they did have something like this. So like I said, it is cool in concept, but I do not see DICE or EA going down this route. So the next question for today comes in from Blackheart, who asks, so I've been noticing that all the gadgets besides the medkit really don't get used by the assault, and while I'm not sure how to buff the other gadgets to make them more appealing, I had an idea for smoke. What if the smoke grenade suppressed anyone who got hit by it fully as long as they're in the smoke? If you're standing in the smoke, you wouldn't be able to see to aim, so why not use suppression to make it all the more useful, especially with the spotting glitch? Do you think it would be overpowered? I think that by restricting it to standing in the smoke itself, would it keep it balanced, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So this is a really cool idea that I've never thought of before, and while for Battlefield 4 I would really just rather have DICE fix the smoke grenade glitch so that if you do have a smoke field down on the field, the enemy team can't just spot you through it and then shoot at your red triangle. It would be a pretty cool solution, or a really an interesting way at making the smoke grenade better if that is not an option and just kind of a part of their engine. It would give you a lot more options on how you can assault or approach situations. Instead of just trying to put a smoke field in between you and the target, you could just literally smoke everything where the enemy could be hiding, and then anyone inside is going to have no way at shooting back or retaliating because of the suppression effect, and it would give you a huge advantage. That advantage actually may be a little bit too high, and you're right, it could be overpowered, but it would just kind of come down to DICE and how they would implement it. Maybe it wouldn't be the full suppression effect. It might just be enough so that if they are in it, it would make it so it would be a little bit harder for them to get a couple of shots on you, and make it so that you could cross a field or get to the location that you would want it to. I would be interested to see if this is a way that DICE could make the smoke grenade more enticing for Battlefield 4. Really cool idea. So the final question for today comes in from Exemplar16, who asks, I think it would be cool to see more cosmetic customization of character models and vehicles in Battlefield 4. For example, with the tanks you can equip the loadout you want to use, but what about also equipping a custom paint job or some decals? Also, I think being able to make small changes to the infantry would be nice, so there isn't a million Russian engineers running around in gas masks, etc. What is your opinion on this? So in general, I am all for more customization in first-person shooters. I like to customize my characters and make them a little bit more unique, so it kind of feels like my own unique flair. But I wouldn't want it to get to the point where you can go completely overboard with it and change the look of your soldier to the point where you can't identify what faction or what class he is, because one of the things I really like about the Battlefield series is that DICE makes it a point so that all the character models represent a faction and a class. So the recon classes look a different way, or look a certain way for the US team and for the Russian team, and at a quick glance you can identify, oh, that is a recon on my team, or oh, that is an enemy engineer, and you can know that instantaneously just by looking at their character model. And the reason why I like this so much is, well, first, it allows you to identify allies from enemies, but it also lets you know the strengths and weaknesses of the person that you're trying to take out just from a simple glance. So if you see a recon player off in the distance and he's way out there, and you see that his character model is a recon, and you know that, well, then you know that you'll need to be a little bit more stealthy. You'll need to try to close the gap so that you can take advantage of your weapons, and then so that he's at a disadvantage, and hopefully switching on over to his pistol. And if they made it so that you could completely customize your character so that you could not distinguish what class or what faction the player is, then that would I think that would take away from the experience, and that is something that I wouldn't want to see. So as long as the customization is small, subtle changes that kind of just give you a small, unique flair, I am all for that. But nothing too substantial. But yeah, guys, those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering for today's Sunday Mailbox. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a question that you would like me to answer in a future episode, let me know down below, or by sending me a YouTube message. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.